Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emily Kolby. I am the Director of Academic Advising here at Bellevue College. I use she, her pronouns. I'm really excited that all of you are here today, and we are coming to you live from the U building, the Student Success Center here at Bellevue College. For the next little bit, so about 30 minutes or so, we'll be walking through the new class schedule. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to share my screen. And then I am excited that some of the academic advisors are here with me too. So as we go through, advisors, please feel free to unmute and add anything that I might be forgetting. But really the goals of the next little while are to, number one, share how do you find classes in this new ctcLink system? And then also following today, where are resources that you can go to support you in this as well? Shoot, I realize I'm going to stop sharing really quickly because I wanted to drop a link in the chat. There it is. So what I'm sharing in the chat is the link for students to go for further support. So the things that will be demoed today are visible on the Bellevue College homepage, the ctcLink homepage for students. And you can walk through, there's a video demonstration and then a step-by-step demo with some guides. But we're here today to do that a little bit with you as well. So I'll go back to screen sharing.
And Emily, if people have questions, is the chat the right place to put them?
Oh, that would be great. And actually, if anyone, I see Steve is here as well. And Steve is the Director of Enrollment Services within Student Central. So if anyone wants to tackle questions in the chat, normally I do this with two screens, but I'm only on one screen today. So if others can check out the chat too, that would be great. And then this presentation will go as far as searching for classes. And I know the next step after that is enrolling into them. And so we will not get into that piece today. But if you do have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can go ahead and put things in the chat or check out the links on the ctcLink page for students. Okay. So one thing that I want to highlight, once you activate your ctcLink account, there are a couple different ways that you can go and search for classes. I'm actually going to start right now because we're on the Bellevue College homepage with maybe the one that's sort of clearest to us as we're on the homepage. I'm going to go ahead and click on the classes link. And because I'm logged in with my test student ID, I am seeing a whole number of features on the left-hand side of the screen. But right now, what we're going to focus on is the online class search. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I put in winter quarter. So first, what we're going to walk through is using English as an example, because English is a common course that students are searching for, and that will give us some examples of what to look out for. So I've made sure to put in winter 2022. And then here in the online class schedule, we want to type in under academic organization, you can start typing in the subject that you want. As advisors, as we've been working with this, some tips that we've come up with is if you're not finding the course right away that you think you're looking for, trying multiple options. So for example, for marketing, looking under digital marketing. Our accounting transfer classes show up under the business transfer program. So trying different combinations. And if you're not able to find the course, reaching out, because the courses have been organized a little bit differently. So I'm going to go ahead and select English. And it's not clicking for some reason. There we go. So I'm actually just going to scroll through and then find my English. And I'm going to hit search because we're just doing a basic search on the online schedule. There are multiple search options that you can, more complex options that you can do. But as I scroll through, I'm just looking under English right now. And one thing that we want to make sure to highlight, and you'll find this in the student tutorial as well, is as you scroll down, you'll see all the different English options. And oh, all of a sudden we're at English 105. But if I'm looking for English 101, where was that? One thing we want you to be aware of is that classes that have an ampersand, or that little and sign, are going to be listed lower in the schedule. So first we have all of our English, and there's English 101. So this little ampersand means that it's called a common course, or CCN, common course numbering. And these are courses that are common among the community and technical colleges in our system. So they're just as transferable. And actually they transfer much easier between community colleges, because English ampersand 101 at Bellevue is the same at Shoreline or Edmonds. But as you're looking through the schedule, we want to make sure that you're not missing these classes because they are at the bottom. So as I look at our English 101 options, I can see if I expand the first option, this is a hybrid. So with the online class schedule, it's really important, just as with the former schedule, that we're looking through and reading the details about the courses. So we can see what the prerequisites are. We can see that it meets asynchronously online. And as I read down, this class schedule will give you all of the details about who, what, where, when the class meets. So this is an asynchronous online class, which means all course materials are available online and students are not required to attend class activities in real time. And so, especially for these few quarters where many of our classes are still online, it's really important that you're sure when is the class meeting. So here are the dates during the quarter, but that it's online and you don't have to meet at a specific time. So that was just one option. And as I scroll through, I can see here's one that meets on Wednesdays. And if I expand, again, it's going to give me when it meets. So it's hybrid. On campus meet the days listed. So that's Wednesdays from 8:30 to 9:20 and A252. And then the rest of the instruction occurs online. As I look at this thing that's called units, we want you to be aware that units means credits. So it's a 5-credit class in the schedule. They're called units. And then you'll see if there's a class fee, again, the prerequisite, and any other descriptive information about the course. You'll also be able to link to the bookstore. So for some of the classes, the textbooks may be listed, or you can click on the bookstore link. You can see that the class is open, the number of seats that are open, and the number of seats available on the wait list.
Question.
Yeah.
On the the class just above that, the HY, yeah, that one. What does ARR mean?
Excellent. Yeah. So ARR will generally mean arranged. And actually, as I look down, I can see again that this is another asynchronous online. So means that you do not need to log in at a specific time. So arranged is sometimes used as shorthand for arranged with your schedule, or arranged, so no particular.
Okay,
time.
sorry, I heard you say that, but I was writing notes.
Oh, no worries at all. And sometimes you'll see ARR with online or just the online. But again, yeah, making sure that taking a look at all of the instruction mode and the details as well. And I'm in this online schedule, having this line at the bottom that really describes what it is.
Emily, we had another question pop up in the chat, which is, what are the differences, or what is the difference between academic organization and subject fields? Oh, great question. And I know that Steve is here as well. So if Steve wants to add on to my answer, they're very similar. And in this new ctcLink world, sometimes the terminology doesn't necessarily match up with our old terminology either. But if you're searching for a class
you'll want to put it into the academic organization. You can also use the subject as well, but it's sort of a funnel. I feel like that was not the best answer, but we've been searching for classes through academic organization. And then actually within subject, we can see it breaks it down. We have the English without the CCN, common course numbering, and then the English with the common course numbering on there.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. That was a good answer. And actually adding academic organization and not making subject required, which it was initially, does help to be able to find, for example, all English. Even though they're broken into different sections, that's a more inclusive way of doing the searching to find all those classes. As a someone who uses it more, if you become more adept, if you know that you're looking for English 101, English ampersand 101, it is going to be faster to just put the English CCN in the subject and go there. But we're wanting, so if a student comes across this and isn't sure, to have this be as easy to find all of the options as possible.
Thank you, Steve. And I do want to highlight too, if you were to click on, so I can reset my filters if I want to search for another class entirely. And then there are more options for filters as well. So if you know instructor last name, for example, if you know, so this session one is interesting. If those of you who have taken classes that are called late start classes that start later on in the quarter, under here, they're referred to as dynamic dated. And right now it's going to search for classes that start later in the course. So dynamic dated is one option under filter as well. But if I click on fewer filters, those go away. And really, again, if you know you're looking for an English class, a math class, I'm actually going to type in biology, because one thing that we wanted to highlight too, which is a little bit different if you've taken lab courses before, and I scroll all the way down to, I want to look under biology 160, and you'll see that their lecture, LEC, and lab, LAB. And I can see that this is a 6-credit lab course. And then this is the lecture component. And then this is the lab that you would add on top of it. So when you're going to register, you can add both of these numbers, course numbers, class numbers 12749 and 12748 in your cart to register for both of them. As I scroll down, because that was the in-person version, we also have hybrid versions and then online. So the online lecture actually includes the online lab. So again, word of caution, as you're going through the schedule and registering, making sure that you're pairing your lecture and your lab. So if it's an online class, it has an online lecture and lab, vice versa. I'm seeing, I think there are a couple of things in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and try to. Okay. Oh, and thank you, Yulia, for putting in the chat, and Steve as well, the start late or end early with dynamic dated. Okay, and again, biology 160 was a common course number, and that showed up. I had to scroll down for that. Okay, one thing that we also wanted to highlight, as you're in this online schedule, you can go ahead, if you click on the Bellevue College logo, this will take you to a landing page with a bunch of different options. If I go back, and that's my little hamburger. Oh, I see a hand from Elizabeth.
Yeah, so when you went back and it showed like the different course catalogs as well as Canvas. Canvas won't change, right? Like it's kind of the same format. It's just the CTC link that's being introduced this quarter.
That's a great question, because I know we've been using Canvas for some time, and no, and again, Steve and Yulia, if you want to jump in too, but Canvas should remain the same. The way that you're selecting classes and registering for classes will be different, but once you're enrolled and you go into your Canvas course, that should have the same look and feel. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so that was one way to take a look at the online schedule. A different way, so if I log in with my student ID, and here we go. I've activated my student account, and I'm within I have my tiles open as a student, and I click on Manage Classes. This is where I can go to search for classes and then add them to my shopping cart and enroll in classes. And again, I won't be able to go all the way through those steps, but this class search, once I'm logged in, will look a little bit different. And it's interesting because within ctcLink, we can actually view course catalogs and class schedules from other schools. So we want to make sure that we scroll all the way down. I want to go to Winter and Bellevue College. And I can search within here. I see Shelly's hand.
So to register for classes, we go in, you add it to your shopping cart. Is that right?
So, oh, great, Steve, I saw you come off mute.
Yeah, and I know that wasn't specifically the topic, but yes, you are onto that. It's a little bit different depending on whether you're in the mobile view or this, perhaps what we might call non-mobile view or classic view. Honestly, I highly recommend the mobile view for better ease, because from there, you can go directly to add classes to your shopping cart when doing class search. And then once you've assembled your cart and it's your time to register, then you select items from the shopping cart to actually enroll in classes.
Oh, that's confusing. So this is not the mobile view?
Not what she's in right now, no.
Okay, so the last option of how to get in was the mobile view, or do you need to do that on a phone?
No, it's called mobile view, but it can be perfectly accessed on any computer. It is mobile responsive, so if it's done on a tablet or a phone, it will adapt for that view. It's going to be the best overall experience. So I appreciate that Emily is showing this one, because students may end up here, and it's still, they should still be aware that the naming of things is a little bit different. So you're on class search and enroll. And there's also like enroll by my requirements that are there, that you didn't see those in the same place inside of the mobile view.
Okay, so did I get ahead of you? Is that what happened?
Oh, no. Well, and I was going to say, Steve, if you are logged in or you want to log in and do the different view, I am okay with that.
If you want, I can guide you, because you were on, if you go back to where you were on that mobile view, do you know how to get back to where you were at? What you were showing initially?
Oh,
prior
yes.
to this one.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you searched for, let's say you searched for a biology class, for example. And I see that you've actually looks like you put that biology 108 in your shopping cart.
Interesting.
Has the shopping cart little logo next to it.
Yeah.
But let's find something else. Let's say like, oh, actually, I didn't really want biology 108. Maybe you want biology 160. You can go find a biology 160 and choose one. And you can either expand it and scroll down, which sort of encourages you probably to read the description and go all the way sort of to the bottom of that description. So you'll need to scroll a little more. And then you have
Okay.
add to planner and add to cart. Planner is more like I might take this or I might not, or I might take it in a future quarter. It's more theoretical. It's one step removed from the registration. If you're like, yeah, I think I want to actually register for this class in winter, you can add it to the cart. So go ahead and click on add to cart. If you wanted to bypass having to scroll through the long description, you could have clicked the 3 little dots next to the class. Oh, and this is a good here, because this has both the lecture and lab, it's letting you know when you're adding that you will be enrolled automatically in the corresponding lab component.
Okay.
To continue. And then pause here just for a sec, because I know there was a question in the chat. Like, it will always have both a box for permission number and a box for waitlist if class is full. The waitlist checkbox is not checked by default. So if a student wants to get on a waitlist for a full class, they would need to check that box. And permission numbers are predominantly going to be used if a class requires permission for everyone to enroll, or once the quarter begins, this is how students will, if they're given permission to either overload a class during the first 3 days or to register late days 4 and 5, they would be given a permission number, and then they would enter that permission number in this interface at that time. So you can go ahead and save, and that will then put that in your cart. And then if you, Emily, if you go over to that left-hand navigation and click on enrollment, and you'll see shopping cart. And that'll have, and so a student could fill their shopping cart with lots of things, and then at the kind of moment of truth, come in and only select by selecting the check marks on the courses that they actually want to enroll in. Or if their shopping cart looks pretty golden, hit the check box at the top right underneath enroll. Emily, you might see that one, sort of like the check all type checkbox. It's right underneath enroll. It's all just a box. Yep, there you go. So if you check that, it's going to check everything. And then if you click on enroll, and you can go ahead and click on enroll.
I was going to say, do you want me to?
It's not open yet. It won't let you go in. You can click on it. It'll give you an error. You cannot enroll at this time. Yeah, it's not time yet. It'll be time soon. And that's also then, if it is enrollment time and there's an issue with prerequisites or other items that would prevent a student from registering, say they're trying to register for 30 credits, then they'll get a corresponding message letting them know why they can't be in anything or certain classes, right? If they don't meet prerequisites, those kinds of messages will come up here.
So I'll hit OK. Here we go. So this is all of my shopping cart. And again, if I wanted to enroll in everything, I would hit the box under enroll or the individual, and then I can delete things from my shopping cart with the delete button. And I can confirm that there. Great. See, let me check the chat. Oh, and does Elizabeth, does Steve's answer your question, the mobile? I can also share too that before this presentation, I logged into my ctcLink test student account, and then I got to this page on the Bellevue College homepage.
Yeah,
I just clicked on classes.
Yeah, so what I'll actually just interject there is that if you're not logged in and you go to that class search, you won't see all of those options there. But if you know you want to log in because you're really ready to do more of the actions, then going to the ctcLink link, and I'm sure that those links are going to start showing up in various places on our website as well. But that way you'll already be logged in and have all of those choices.
Let me go over my list of other tips and strategies, because as advisors, a couple of things that we want to highlight. So for example, if anyone's taken an interdisciplinary studies course, we know that there is one offered in winter, but it's partially in, here we go. It's a psychology and English class. And so you actually see it listed under positive psychology. And so there are a couple of kind of hidden courses, but this is an interdisciplinary studies course that is offered with Psychology 109 and English 237 or 238, and is called The Science of Dreaming. And so again, as we're reading the class notes, making sure that if, for example, this was a course you wanted to take, you would need to register, add both English 237 and Psychology 109 to your cart. So you would add this class plus English 237, which is listed as part of the interdisciplinary studies course. So again, as you're going through the schedule, there are some courses that may be linked to each other. So in that case, making sure that you're adding both of them.
And Emily, I might also point out that if you searched instead of in academic org, but under subject, you will find interdisciplinaries. You'd have to uncheck psychology as the academic org. So the reality is that interdisciplinary studies is not a department in the sense that you're not going to actually have credit on your transcript in interdisciplinary studies. It's a way to package courses that are combined for the experience. That's what makes up interdisciplinary studies. So for marketing and visibility, if a student searches here, they'll see Inter 180. And if you click on the class for the description, it will then provide in the description information. So this is a placeholder. So if you're like, I'm looking for interdisciplinaries 180, you'll see like, oh, I need to add the psych, the psych, which one is it? Psych 205, 109, and one of the Englishes. And yeah, so that it's, so if that's where a student went looking, they wouldn't be turned away and not find what they were looking for.
Perfect. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Steve. That's great.
Yeah, and if you tried to add that to your cart, like click the three dots, you go ahead and try to add it to your cart.
Okay.
It's so like, ooh, yeah, I want it. I'm going to add it to my cart. You'll see that you're not actually able to add it to your cart. So that wouldn't lead to a confusion of, I think I'm going to be registering for or enrolling in Inter 180, because it won't let you. That's just there as a more of a guidepost. It'd be like, if you want Inter 180, here's kind of how you make that happen.
I see we are at 1:59 and we were originally scheduled for just 30 minutes. I think at this point, I'll actually go ahead and stop sharing so I can see all of you. And then there are other questions for either myself or Steve or any of the advisors in the last minute or so. And again, I know Maria and others have dropped in the chat the links for student support on, here we go, on the Bellevue College webpage, so you can get continued virtual or in-person support. We're really excited to have you activate your account and try things out, register for winter quarter, and we're excited to continue to work with you and see you soon.